What's good, people? I hope that this is coming through properly. It's the first time I ever actually uh, went live like this from my phone. It's telling me to rotate the device. I hope y'all not looking at your boy upside down or no craziness like that. But um, I'm actually not at the crib, as you can probably tell, because my surroundings is a little different than what they usually. Y'all let me know. Is it showing weird like this, or is it, I don't know which way is showing the best, but I'm gonna probably have this video cut up and then put back out there in a way. My wife always telling me I gotta learn my angles. I'm like, baby, I'm old. I ain't got no angles no more. All my angles gone. I lost my angles a long time ago. Um, so I wanted to talk about how with just pretty much all of these blogs, right? So I'm gonna actually kind of go back to the beginning because I didn't do any videos talking about them. What I did was what's going on, Panagiotis. I hope I said that right. Um, I didn't really talk about the My League blog too much, and my GM blog, I should say. And honestly, I was really kind of waiting just to see what 2K was going to do, and I was kind of asking some questions. What's going on, RC? What's going on, Big Heck Money? I was trying to wait to kind of see what was going to happen and who was going to, what all information was going to come out. So when that My GM blog came out, I saw it and what's happening, Bill, and I was like, all right, this definitely doesn't seem like this is all there is to it. So it feels like something else is coming. But um, I realized that it's really not like, and I've kind of gotten some, I wouldn't say complete confirmation, but somewhat of confirmation that there is a major thing that went on with my league. I think a very major thing, but it's not as major as what we have become accustomed to seeing with my league every year. Like every year, I think 2K does a pretty good job of adding something big to my league, whether it's more classic teams, if it's more customization options, something to that effect, they generally do. But this year, with MyGM, I'm going to talk about that first because that's what was released. MyGM 2.0. Basically, what's happening with MyGM 2.0 is they are attempting to make the mode more competitive. When obviously that's a difficult task because it's a single player mode, and there's only so much that you can do from a competitive standpoint because obviously you're not playing against people. So this is weird to me, like the whole thing, the way this looks is just kind of weird. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if it's. I don't know what I don't know which way is the best. It's like kind of tripping me out, but so basically, 2.0, the whole concept of 2.0 is a point system within my GM that is designed to, give you credit for having success in the mode. Whether it's having success because you had a player do really well, or if it's having success because your team won the championship, which is what you're supposed to be trying to do, or whether it's having success for some other situations. And I like some of the balancing because some of the balancing, basically the way they have it is you don't get as much credit for having success with players that you already inherited. So this is designed to stop people from essentially just flocking to the best teams and winning a championship there, and then they get the same amount of clout or respect or what have you that a person would get if they went and they built a team. So you rebuilt the Timberwolves, or you rebuilt the Bulls, or something like that, and then you was able to win a championship there. Obviously, that's a tougher task. So I like that. It's not a wow feature by any means, in my personal opinion. Doesn't mean that it doesn't make the mode better. It doesn't mean that it doesn't make it more entertaining and fun in the long run. But it's not a wow, oh my god, for real. You know, it's not one of those things. So with my GM, I mean, I feel like that's it. I'm not gonna lie. I read the blog and I read it back like 4 times before I said anything because I was like, I must be missing something because I really felt kind of underwhelmed. I'm gonna be honest. And what was very clear to me was that this year's version is more focused on gameplay, as you may have seen from the gameplay blog that came out today, and it's more focused on maintenance for the things or for the modes that they felt were for the most part already in a good place, right? What's good, Razor? Appreciate you, bro. Frank, what's good, everybody? Um, that that's kind of how it is. Now, as far as my league, the My League blog, there will not be a My League blog because there's not enough added to the mode from my understanding that they're going to do a whole blog. But what I have been, you know, told, and from what I understand, and this actually hasn't even come from, you know, like developers or anything like that, but from my understanding is that the biggest focus on my league this year, I would say, is, I shouldn't say they said the biggest focus, but one of the major focuses for my league this year is making sure that my league online works. That's like that was like from my understanding, that was something that they did not take lightly. That essentially last year they sold people a game, and I understand that the My League community is not one of the biggest communities, but there's literally probably thousands of people. I don't know, maybe five to, I don't know how many, but there's definitely thousands of people who bought the game for My League Online, and they bought it under the assumption, obviously, that that was going to work, um, and it didn't. Um, so because it didn't, to me, in my opinion, that comes off as essentially you sold somebody something under the pretenses that they would have access to a feature that wasn't there. So that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. And I do think that they realize that. Um, and I think that that's the reason why that was such a major focus to make sure that My League Online had stronger servers this year. Now, we don't know. I don't know what that looks like. You know, um, I don't know that if they, you know, something goes wrong. I mean, because I'm be honest with you, just being a 2K, you know, person that's been playing 2K for since its inception in 1999, there's been a lot of times over the years where they've talked about servers being improved and turned out that that wasn't the case. So I'm hoping that's not the situation this time. I'm kind of thinking that it won't be that way this time. I kind of think that they will actually get a handle on it. And the reason why I think that is this: the server tax, right, on My League Online, from My League Online, is not anywhere near as significant as it is for the neighborhood. Absolutely not for my team, because if anybody who plays my team knows that the way it has been is when there's a locker code dropped or some type of big promotion that's going on, you might as well wait like a good 10 hours before you try to do anything, because what's going on, my man from Denmark, Lejerk? I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate everybody that's here. We got almost like 57 people here. I appreciate that. um you know, you pretty much know that it's going to be a shutdown situation. I don't think that the tax for My League Online is going to be that hard and that heavy. So I would think that if there was some resources dedicated to fixing that issue, then I would think that they could probably get a handle on that one easier than they could for something with a much larger active consumer base, right? So I feel pretty confident they'll get it. Now, how do I feel about my league? More than likely, I'm about 99% sure that I think that there is something coming for my league. I do. I'm going to tell you. Let me spin it back a little bit. I happen to believe that WNBA is going to have. I don't know if it's going to have a my league that is going to be on par with the my league that you see for the NBA, but I have a strong belief that the 2K is going to go with a my league for WNBA, and I'm going to tell you why I think that. Now, everybody knows, yes, that 2K is a superior product than live at this point. We are everybody. If you like, I don't even go back and forth with people who argue that. I know there's a lot of people that really love live, but if you just want to be, it's like me sitting up here trying to argue with somebody that LeBron James is not a good player. Okay, you don't like him, but saying he's a bad player is just kind of ridiculous. So I just gotta walk away from that conversation. Same thing with 2K is a better product than live. It is. But that, that does not mean that there aren't some things that live does that 2K said, I think we'll do that. It's not, it doesn't mean that. And it also does obviously mean it vice versa. There's going to be some things. Because there's something in the gameplay aspect. If you watch the blog today, if you read the blog today, that I think was influenced from live. And I'm glad that they did it. I'm all for companies copying off the other one if somebody has a good idea. You can't patent an idea, especially not something that can be conveyed differently with different tech, but it's the same concept. So I don't have a problem with that. Um, but the thing that I think that 2K looked at with live is they looked at the fact that WNBA and live was pretty empty and naked and bare bones. Like it was really just kind of just there, right? And um, I think they said that when we bring this, we got to bring it in a way that eclipses what EA did with the WNBA license. And honestly, if you want to know the truth, I thought that NBA Live's gameplay with WNBA was the best gameplay that the whole series had. I don't know if it was because the size of the characters were smaller or the animations didn't have as much of the, that the players weren't playing above the rim. I don't know what it was, but WNBA gameplay in live is better than NBA gameplay in live. It's actually really fun. If you play with I was playing with the Las Vegas Aces and Liz Cambridge. She was, just playing with her, controlling Asia Wilson. It's fun. I really dug it. I thought it was really really good. So, but the only problem with it was that you can't do nothing there. Like there is no season mode. They ain't got a skills challenge. They ain't got nothing. Like you just come out here and play with WNBA exhibition games, and that at the end of it, you're supposed to sit back and go, whew, now that was really satisfying. No, it was not satisfying. It was a very empty experience, and it made me wish and wonder why didn't y'all blow this whole thing out? You had what 2-3 years where you were the only franchise with the WNBA license. And I'm not trying to act like the WNBA license is the equivalent of getting Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller, Rasheed Wallace, and every other player that people want in 2K that's not there. I'm not trying to say that. And getting Zion Williamson and LaMelo and LiAngelo Ball. I'm not trying to act like that was that was the equivalent. But there was a place there, an opportunity there for them to make a mark. And simply throwing it in the game and saying, "Oh, we got WNBA, but you can't do nothing play but exhibition." That to me was a misuse of the license. I also think the EA has underusage of the license, I would say, and I also think they underutilized the ESPN license. They had that for I don't know how long, and they never hardly ever use it. They use it. They have Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman in there doing some stuff, but they don't use it in their franchise mode. They don't use it in those ways, and I think it's a waste. So I think that 2K looked at WNBA in live and said ours is going to be deeper than this. I don't know to what depth it's going to be, but I feel almost 100% positive that you'll be able to have a My League with WNBA or some sort of something. Maybe you won't call it My League because maybe you shouldn't call it My League because maybe it won't have as many features. Because there's a lot of differences there. You know, their collective bargaining agreement is different. So I don't know exactly how that will work, but I do think that you'll be able to have a franchise. Maybe that's what I should say. I think you'll be able to have a franchise mode with WNBA. Um, I would be really surprised. And now I've been wrong about this before. I've been wrong about things like this before because I felt that back, I think it was in 2K17 when they did the Kobe Bryant Legends Edition thing. I felt like they were definitely going to bring a mode like the Jordan moments or LeBron James path to greatness. I had it all scripted out in my head. I was like, they should call it Mamba moments. You know, that's what I thought. I thought that would be the case, but they didn't do that. They just pretty much let that go, and I felt like that was a real waste right there. I mean, you got Kobe on a Legends edition, and he just retired, played his entire career with one team. You could have really put together a really dope mode that celebrated that, and people would have been all over it. You throw in some achievements and some VC goals wrapped in that boy. People would have played that like crazy. You could have chopped that bad boy full of ads so that you could have sold advertising space throughout it. It would have been huge. And what advertiser could you? They could have gone to any advertiser in the United States or in the world and said, "Hey, Kobe Bryant, retirement mode, covering all his best moments. We got blah 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 spaces to put your ad, and we'll run a different ad throughout the different time, or we'll add a new challenge a week, a month, or something until you get to the end." And could have made it a living one player mode, like something like that, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen, and I was literally shocked that they didn't take advantage of that the way they could have. So I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm not unpleasantly shocked again that they don't do something like that with the WNBA, but I feel like they probably will. So I think, depending on how you look at it, I think that's an addition that could be coming to the whole My League concept. But I do. This is something that Madden did the last 2 years. Like, Madden hasn't done anything to their franchise mode for I don't know how long. Like, I shouldn't say anything. So the same. Okay, you see the little things. Shouldn't say little thing. You see the under the hood functional kind of improvements that it looks like have been done to MyGM, right? Well, I think 2K can kind of get away with that because My League is so far ahead of all other franchise modes in sports at this point. I mean, MLB The Show is really good on their franchise mode. I'm having a ball playing it right now, but the level of customization just isn't there. You can't like just recreate a league like you can in My League. Um, so I feel like 2K kind of has some slack that they build up for themselves, so they can have a year or maybe two where they just where they just fine tune the mode. They don't necessarily have to go like I would. There's a lot of stuff I would love to see. A lot of stuff I would love to see. I would love to see, you be able to add tattoos to players for your when you're creating the roster. Because right now, all you can do is, everybody got to be out there looking like, bam, nothing on there. Everybody got to be out there like that. And I mean, and that's just not realistic. I mean, obviously, we're gonna want to create players. I mean, you really can't create. I know Rodman's in the game, but um, you can't create. If I wanted to create a real Rodman, I can only create the Detroit Piston version because before he got all the tats. So that should be better. So I love to see that. I love to see you be able to put in collegiate rules. So if I wanted to do something crazy where I wanted to like recreate college basketball, which I've seen a lot of guys doing, the infamous New York and all that. What's going on, Jason? All those different, I've seen people doing that. That would be dope. I would love to see I'd like to see them bring in rule changes like the 4 point shot as a possibility. It's my league. I'm doing whatever I want to do. I would like to see you be able to have more than 36 teams, which is might be a little much, but I would love to see the presentation get better. I'd like to see the halftime show get better. I'd like to see a weekly wrap up show, with highlights from other games. I would love to see that. That would make franchise mode just amazing. I would love to see, like a talking head kind of a show built into it. Maybe that's what the weekly wrap up show would be. I would love that. I think it would just be crazy good, right? But I just, yeah, it just wasn't. It just wasn't. It's just they haven't done that yet. So I'm not saying that there is a perfect franchise mode and there's nothing else to be added, but I will say that there is some room for improvement. But they can kind of get away with just taking a year or two off because it is so good. But I think that's what you see. That's what you see Madden doing, and they don't really have the room to do that. Madden is taking years off, like decades off, adding real meaty features to their franchise mode, and it's like, bro, it ain't good yet. It's not really good. The only good thing I say about Madden's franchise mode over like 2K is that their online franchise mode works, so they don't have those same issues that My League Online has. But um, yeah, so I mean, some people are going to be upset that My League is not going to have these huge, amazing, crazy, big features this year. I'm not too mad about it. I'm not really mad about it at all. I mean, like I said, the mode is packed and stacked as it is. Simply making the online franchise on Madden, My League Online work is good enough for me for this year. Now, what I don't want to see though, here's what I don't want to see. Yeah, MyGM is updated, MyGM 2.0. That's what the blog, that original blog is about. It's updated. It's not a whole bunch of crazy new stuff in there either, but it's some under the hood kind of stuff. What I don't want to see from 2K is, because we are going into the next generation of consoles. And from a feature standpoint, traditionally, I have seen sports games take a step back in the first version on a new console. And that always bothers me because it never matches, right? So you pop out and you like, oh man, usually there's a visual jump. I don't know how big of a visual jump we're gonna see moving to PS5 and the Project Scarlet, but usually there's this visual jump. But then you looking and you like, I can't do that no more. I used to be able to play for all the teams. Oh, I can't watch games anymore. I used to be able to watch the games. Oh, I can't create a whole roster, or now I can only create 80 people as opposed to 150 and then still do the roster trick that I used to do. Like all of that stuff, like sometimes they conveniently will remove features when they move to the next generation. And then by the time they catch up, if they ever do, if you're talking about Madden, they never caught up. If you think about all of the stuff they took out after Madden '08, here we are in Madden 20, and they still haven't added most of that stuff back. You know, um, it's kind of crazy, how that goes. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen with 2K when they move over to PS5 and the Project Scarlet. I want their My League to stay intact as it is right now. I mean, even if they don't, even if like, so say for instance next year, right, PS5 comes out and NBA 2K21 is the first version of the series on there. Even if they don't add any new features to My League, but they have whatever visual jumps that they have, and that's it, and they keep My League exactly as it is, I'm cool. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say at all. So it's crazy, Timothy. You saying when is me and Nazar gonna stream? Actually, I'm actually trying to connect up with him today. I'm gonna see what's going on with him. Probably not to stream. Just gonna try to holler at him today. But yeah, it's man. We all everybody is so busy and in so many different areas. Myself, Nelson, him, everybody so busy in all these different, just in different areas. Nelson just was tweeting yesterday about how he got two jobs working with Marvel. It's beautiful art. Just like I felt so cool watching him draw on those images while the lady was describing the type of superhero she wanted to be, and I knowing that I'm watching a time lapse, Nelson's time lapse work. It was just awesome, right? And then obviously the Czar busting it, doing his part with 2K20. It's just cool. We all just in so many different places. Sometimes it's hard to coordinate, but those brothers know I wish them nothing but the best, and I know that they wish me nothing but the same. So we'll try to connect when we can. But yeah, as far as gameplay, let's talk about gameplay for a second. Um, I love just about everything I read in that blog. I love like everything I read in that blog. Like my biggest problem with 2K's gameplay was speed threshold. I just felt like, pick and roll is such a big part of the game. And even outside of pick and roll, but especially in pick and roll. Pick and roll is such a big part of basketball. The whole point is to create mismatches. And while I definitely felt that it was easy to create a mismatch in a post with a big with a small trying to defend a big, but I didn't really feel like you could really take advantage of a big caught on the outside trying to guard a guard. I just feel like as a big, you were able to control that guard, and that speed never came into play. From my understanding, from my understanding, if you fast in 2K20 and you got a speed advantage on somebody, oh, it's finna be one. It's finna be one. So to me, that thing right there can change the way the entire game plays. And the thing I love about it is it really is going to affect every mode. Junior just did a video on how it could affect my team. So if y'all haven't subscribed to Junior's channel yet, please do. We're trying to get him off the ground, trying to get him running. He's trying to focus on my team only. He likes a lot of other modes. And he likes a lot of other games, but I don't want him to fall in the same trap I did, making too much stuff about too many different things. So his channel is Unique Mazik Jr. If y'all have not subscribed to him yet, please do. He focuses on my team, and so he was talking about today a lot about it and what he felt, would be some of the differences. I haven't even listened to the whole video yet, but I know he has some good ideas about it because basically from conversations that we've had. But in my league, it's going to matter your team building, where you would have maybe tried to get away with having a guy play out of position at guard because you really couldn't exploit it or anything like that. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna work out like that. Not from what I'm understanding. With the way that the speed threshold works, I love the way that body up defense system sounds. What's going on, Tim? What's happening? I love the way that sounds, man. It feels like the body up system. That's what I was talking about with what I feel like they kind of took from Live, because one of the things I did like about Live's gameplay was the dribbler versus the defender thing. Now I do think you make way too many contested shots in Live, but overall that whole cat and mouse game between your defender and the ball handler, I thought that conceptually they have that in the right place. And it sounds to me as though the whole read and react and the body up system that you see that is coming to 2K20 really, really kind of piggybacks on that concept and maybe adds some fresh ideas and concepts to it for 2K. And I'm really excited about that. It's like if you're a good defender, you get a little bit of a half a second or a second tip off as to which way the defensive player is leaning. The offensive player is leaning, and it gives you a little bit more, just a fraction of the time more, to be able to react to the dribbler. And I think that's a really good balance conceptually. It's a really good balance of the difference, a really good balance of skill gap on the sticks, and then also keeping ratings in there as well. So I like that a lot. What's going on, Eastwick Baller? I appreciate you coming through. Um, they all, yeah. Let's talk about badges. Post grad was saying that, talking about that. Almost 80 badges. I can't wait to get the list of badges. I really can't. I'm telling y'all right now. I get the list of badges. As soon as I get it, I'm doing. I might do an article or video of all of the players in the NBA who I feel like should fit under these badges or who should have these badges. Like, and I know Stoffer gonna throw something at me when I do it, but I want to, yeah, I really want to do that. But 80 badges, that's a lot. But you know what? I ain't mad at that though. I'm not mad at that because as long as it's not anything stupid that's like totally not basketball, I'm good. I have no problem with it. I'm like, yeah, straight, no problem, no problem. I just want it to be something that, as long as it's bad, because I really felt like there were like I'd done some articles before, and I may have even done some videos about badges or skills, specific skills in games, that in a basketball or on a basketball game, that I didn't think were represented well from a badge standpoint. Like there was nothing there. Um, I talked about I did a video, and I don't think I did a video actually. I did an article about this, how I would love to see them work technical fouls into the game. And when I said it, a lot of people thought I meant like them listening to you play, and if you start cussing, then they give you a tech. No, that's not what I meant. What I meant was there are players, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, these guys who have led the league in technicals last year, right? So 2K already has it woven into the game where when fouls get called on those guys or certain things happens, they have an emotional reaction. And I felt like, and now this is only a my league thing. This is not like this is only a my league, my GM thing. Nobody wants this to happen to them playing competitive in, pro-am or nothing like that. Nobody wants that. But I'm talking about in the modes where the skills are supposed, I mean, where the ratings are supposed to really matter, right? I would love to see it where there's a chance like that if Draymond gets a foul called on him, or if Kevin Durant gets a foul on him, they might flip out. Like I thought the badge maybe should be called hot head or something like that. You know, and this person is more prone to getting technical fouls, and so then there's all these different trigger plays, right? So trigger play could be a foul. A foul called against that player. Trigger play could be a physical play where they have the ball, and they miss a shot and they don't get a foul called, or just physical play with a team with an opponent. All of that could dictate whether or not there's a chance. So it's like, so every time that situation happens, right, there's like an algorithm or an equation that is played in the background. And it's like, and obviously you can't see this, but it's like, okay, Draymond Green is playing. The Golden State Warriors are down by 11 in the third quarter. The other team is on a run. He just got called for his second foul in a certain period of time. There's a 75% chance he's going to get a technical right here because he's Draymond Green and because this is contextually a very frustrating situation. Now, it doesn't have to happen every time, but the propensity of him getting called for a technical in that type of situation is higher, and that's realistic. And I think in my league, I don't think nobody should have a problem with that in my league because that's what it's supposed to be. But then I feel like there should also be a counter for that, right? You should have somebody who is like a buffer or a cool off kind of effect. So say there's a veteran who has a really calm demeanor and they're generally able to kind of curtail them. What's going on? What's that KB kid from Calumet Park? What's good, baby? We got Chicago up in here. Let's good. What's good? So, like if you had somebody who's like, all right, well, this person, when they're on the floor with Draymond or when they're on the floor with Kevin Durant, they are able to change. If it's a 70% chance he's going to get a technical in this kind of situation, if this guy's on the floor, that drops to a 60 or 50% chance. Or maybe even there's a coach. There's a coach that could have that same effect. I think that kind of stuff would be just dope. Then obviously, Draymond Green's not insane. He's emotional, but he's not insane. If he's already got one technical, the chances of him getting a second technical, then now, okay, no, he may not, so in that same situation, if it was a 70% chance of him getting a technical, there's a 25-30% chance of him getting a second technical, because obviously he doesn't want to get kicked out. So to me, that's how that would be dope. I would love to see something like that added. Um, and I do think that's a gameplay thing. I think that's a gameplay. But I was really excited about what I saw about AI. The AI from the way that you miss more shots, or the computer misses more shots. Now they're prone to the shot timing concepts that real life players are prone to. Off ball movement was, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I think the off ball movement feature, I think the mode that's going to be felt the most is in Pro Am. Like, I hear a lot of my league people talking about it, but I'm gonna tell you, man, in Pro Am, to add in that extra little game, the way people play, man, I'm telling you, that could be huge for the 2K League in terms of just improving the strategy and changing the way of like the way you see the game played. Like, now you got guys doing little jukes, and you got people setting off-ball screens and all this other different kind of stuff that's going on. I mean, you can set off-ball screens anyway, but now getting open now is kind of like just slapping your stick, slapping the stick back and forth, all like old school jukes before there was even a juke in there, right? Um, yeah, I said the same thing, RC. We need tats for a regular creative player. But now with this, now there's a game within a game. It's almost like playing 11 on 11 in Madden, right? Where somebody's got to control the offensive lineman and somebody's got to control the wide receivers and the DBs. It's almost like that. And I think that could be really big, the way they did that, the way they make that work. I have to see how it comes out, but I think that could be huge. But the dribbling, signature dribbles, yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. Having people look different just with normal dribbles. I mean, I'm all about immersion and I'm all about realism, man. And that sounds like that moves really well in that direction. You know, I'm telling you, I think it would be great. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said, most of the time the stuff sounds good. You're gonna have to kind of like read through to see where some of the cracks could come in. Um, but yeah, um, yeah, I don't know. So that's pretty much all I got. I don't have anything else really to share about it. We don't know. Oh, you know what? I will say this: we don't know nothing about my team yet. But I will tell you, this is what I think about my team. I think my team was a huge focus for 2K. I have no real reason to say that outside of just I'm stepping back, right? And I'm looking at the function that I'm looking at all the components of what 2K is, right? Let's get my GM, my league. We know there wasn't a lot of new stuff added there. Thanks, Eastwick Baller. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro. Um, we know that it wasn't a lot added there. We saw that was done, what was done with gameplay. Okay. Um, it's kind of dwindling down, right? Now we're about to get to my career, right? And then there's my team. Those are like the only two things left. Of course, you got Play Now Online. I think whatever's gonna happen with Play Now Online, I don't think it's gonna be mind blowing type of things, right? I think a lot of it's gonna be crossed over with some of the improvements that they've done and other things. I think my team is going to get a lot of push because my team is a humongous revenue driver for the game for 2K, and they have to make sure that this mode functions better. They got to make sure that it functions better. I think a smart thing for them to do would be to bring some franchise mode concepts to my team. I think it would help to develop a competitive community within my team, which could lead to some sort of esports presence. We already saw the My Team Unlimited tournament, um, but I don't think they're ever going to get rid of unbalanced cards, Jay. I really don't. You got to look at the numbers. You got to look at what happens. The 2K community turns on its ear, man, when a new pink diamond or a galaxy opal comes out, and it don't even matter how insane it is. One of the most popular galaxy opals out there was the Isaac Bonga. Like, people went nuts for it. And us, realistic and super sim type of gamers, we can sit back and we can be mad and talk about, oh my god, I can't believe Isaac Bonga got a galaxy opal. Why does Brian Scalabrine have a this? And now we can say all of that, but the fact of the matter is that people are literally spent that, right, that Cliff Hagen galaxy opal. You know what I'm saying? People, I mean, I mean, we can get mad at it all we want, man. But the fact of the matter is that people are throwing real money at the game to get these cards. I mean, if as from a business standpoint, would you stop? Would you stop? I mean, if you was creating a game, right, that was, maybe really going hard towards a mode that you was kind of like, I don't really like that mode, but you literally was banking hundreds of $1,000s a day. Like I would love to see what the daily income of my team is from microtransactions. I would love to see what it is, because I'm sure it's probably, the daily income is probably 3, 4, 5 folks' salaries annual. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I wouldn't make I'd make a Galaxy Opal Brian Mazik. I would make a Galaxy Opal Eastwick Baller, Galaxy Opal Jason Battle, Galaxy Opal Post Grad Update, Galaxy Opal. You get a Galaxy Opal. You get a Galaxy Opal. You get everybody gets a Galaxy Opal. That's I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. So I just I just have to say, like, because y'all notice I kind of stopped playing my team relatively abruptly this year, right? I was playing it a lot. I was tweeting about it. I was posting videos about it, all of that. And then I kind of stopped. And I kind of stopped because for me, it just got kind of ridiculous. I was like, okay, this is just stupid. Like, now it don't even feel good to have a Galaxy Opal because everybody got one. It just don't even feel whatever. And it's to the point where now who the players are doesn't even matter, right? It doesn't even matter. It just like, okay, now it's like I'm not guarding the player, I'm guarding his card level. And to me, that's just stupid. Honestly, I really feel like I really feel like the mode would be better if the players were fictional players. That's what I feel like. I feel like I feel like it would make more, it would be less of a turnoff to me if the players were fictional. Because if the players were fictional, I wouldn't be able to say, oh, Magic Johnson can't do that. Oh man, John Stockton can't do that. Oh, you mean to tell me they got Isaac Bonga doing that? See, but the thing that messes you up though, Big Hack, is that it's not that the players themselves are not fictional. So it creates this conflict in your head, because you're looking at this player, and as a person who knows basketball, you're looking at this player and you're like, there is no way in the world Greg Oden ain't never shot threes. Like, why is Greg Oden a good 3-point shooter? Why is he a C? Why is it even possible to get a green release with Greg Oden? Like, or why am I seeing them regularly? If it wasn't for that, if they came up and said, Willie Gomeister is a Willie Gomeister is got 99 threes across the board. You be like, all right, I got to get that Willie Gomeister Galaxy Opal, because you're gonna believe whatever they tell you about Willie Gomeister, because I don't know who Willie Gomeister is. You're introducing Willie Gomeister to me, but you're not introducing Oscar Robertson. You're not introducing Kobe Bryant. You're not introducing John Stockton. I know who these guys are. I know what they can do, and to just give them all these trumped up ratings is gonna always turn off the sim heads. It's gonna always turn off the sim heads. So it just is what it is, man. It's one of them things where if you turned off by it, you just don't play it. And that's what I did. When I got to that point where I felt like, okay, no, I just stopped playing it. So I just stopped playing it. I said, I mean, I haven't conceded. I just understand, Jason, that it's not a right. You're not right. You're not right. It's not a right or wrong situation. You're not right. You just don't like it. So everything you dislike doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not even that. It's just that you just don't. I don't like it. It's like Junior. Junior had a good analogy. He was like, Dad, when you start analyzing the plausibility of what you see in my team, it's like criticizing professional wrestling for being stupid. I'm like, no. Well, I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's exactly that. Because when you sit down to watch professional wrestling, when you sit down to watch WWE, you're already buying into the fact that they're about to be some spectacular, crazy stuff going on that's probably not ever going to happen or can't happen in real life. That's what you're buying into just from GP when you sit down there and do it. And my team really is the same thing. It really is the same thing. If you're gonna play this and say there's 5 different versions of the same guy in a game, in a mode, this is what it's gonna be. This is what it's going to be. You're either going to have to deal with it or not. Now, I say that, and I'm still saying the Nelson's in here. What's going on? It's not wrong, Nelson. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's just not what we want. But I say all that. I would love to see them have a realistic mode in my team. I think that would broaden the customer base. I think that would have people like me playing it long for the whole year, not just for enough for me to get a good feel of it. Like, I would play it the whole. If you had a mode in my team, right, where there was, first of all, salary cap, where so you couldn't just have, even if you did have all these cards on. Like, I'm not saying get rid of my team unlimited. I definitely think there's a place for that, right? But if you had like a salary cap where you can only have so many Galaxy Opals on your team, you can only have, because say for instance, it's all set up with a point value, right? And your point value, it's just like salary cap ranked on Madden. Your point value can go over 500 for the whole team. And Galaxy Opals are 125. So you already know I got to fill a whole team of 12 players. I can't have 4 Galaxy Opals. It just ain't going to work. So it will work just the same way as the salary cap does in the NBA. You just have to, that would be the way it would have to go. I think that would be much more entertaining for me. Now, I'm looking at Junior playing it. And see, here's the other thing I understand. I'm a 40-plus-year-old gamer. It would be absolutely stupid for 2K to model the future of their game after me. That based off what I want. That doesn't make any sense from a business standpoint. You have to cater to your core audience and who represents your future. And from 14 and 13 all the way up to like 22 and 23, they want it. They want it. And the numbers are proving that they want it. My money doesn't have an age, but when my age group isn't spending as much money, then my money doesn't have as much weight. It's that's just 14 to 15 don't have money, but they have the influence to ask the people who have the money. It's 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 this is a numbers conversation which can be proven one way or the other. You look at the modes that are the most played, and you look at the age group of the people who play those modes. It's indisputable. It's indisputable. It's indisputable. I know where I sit in the in this whole thing. I know where I sit in this thing, and I know that while there is an influence there, it isn't as strong. I mean, why do you think there is even a park mode? Why do you think there's a park mode at all? You think any of us want any you think anybody in this stream, probably maybe 5 people in this stream, like park? I can't stand park. I don't like it at all. I think it's trash. Like, I don't like it at all. Like, a lot of people don't like park. But okay, most people in this stream don't like park. Most people in this stream, park is one of their least favorites. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. Okay, okay. I like the fact that when you go live, it just asks you if you want to resume. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Like, I guess my whole thing is that park is not one of the most popular modes for the sim crowd, right? The sim crowd, that's not one of the most popular. Like, you might play it, but it's not your go-to mode. Like, you're not buying 2K for park. You're not buying 2K for park. If you're a sim guy and your favorite mode is MYGM, My League, or Play Now Online, if park wasn't in the game, you'd be fine. You'd be fine with it. So, that's the thing. But you have a much larger fan base that is a 2K fan base that if they took park out, I'm telling you, ask people who work on the game, ask people who have access to these numbers, ask them, and they'll tell you where that power is. They'll tell you where that power is. It's not a matter of opinion. It's really not. It's not a matter of opinion at all. It's a matter of facts and what people are saying. Like, what people can. One thing I realize is never get too bent out of shape about the vocal minority, because a lot of us will go on Twitter and we'll go online and we'll talk and we'll say what we don't like, and our voices can be so loud that it seems like there's more of us than there are. And and also, this group of us who really like my gym and stuff, a lot of us are more able to express ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and be like, bam, this is what needs to be fixed. This is what this is what we don't like. This is what we like. A lot of the people who play these games, man, they don't play it that way. They don't look at it that way. They're not going online and talk about it. A lot of them just turn the game on and start playing. And if they don't like it, they don't like it, and they stop. It's just it. It's I mean, the proof of it is in the numbers. It really is, man. You see how many people play these different modes, man. That's why, honestly, man, I love the fact that my league is still in the game. Like, dude, when MLB The Show had a problem with their online franchise, they took it out of the whole freaking game. They took it out. So now they have that piece of their fan base asking for it, and they ain't bringing it back because they had a problem. They just took it out. Just took it out. So I don't, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just like I said, the numbers tell you, Nelson, that park And I would like to see, what I would like to see? I would like to see the analytics of how many people who play My League online actually play part, and how much time have they spent in it. I would like to see that. That would be really interesting. That would be really interesting demographics. I don't know if 2K would ever really put that out, or allow anybody to see that, but I know they have those numbers because I've heard other numbers similar to it. So I know it exists, but I just don't know if it would ever be anything that's shared. I would love. I mean, I think I'm gonna see if I can get that. I'm gonna see if I can not get that, but I'm gonna see if I can get some sort of analytics information for what people are playing. Um, honest, I agree with you, Dex. My league is the best mode in the game to me. It's the best mode in the game. I mean, hands down, it's the best mode in the game. I don't even think it's close. I really don't. I don't even think it is close. But that's to me. That's what I like. You know. Um, but it is. I feel like it's the most complete mode. But I'm gonna dip out, guys. I appreciate everybody coming through. We had almost up to like 90 something people at one point, which is real cool. And even after I dipped off, we still got 56. So like I said, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna once that my league, or I'm sorry, not my league. Once information for, we haven't seen anything for WNBA yet, but once that comes out, I'll be talking about that. And once, of course, we see something with my team, I'll talk about that. But I don't think I'm gonna talk about that much moving forward. I did a poll on my channel. I don't know if y'all saw it, but I put a poll up because I'm really kind of like, I really don't want to do anything else but franchise mode videos. I really don't. That's all I really want to do. And maybe some of my career. I really don't want to do nothing else. So I asked y'all, what should I do? Should I do 2K franchise stuff? Should I do Madden franchise stuff? Should I do MLB the franchise stuff? Or should I do a mixture of both? The overwhelming response on my channel was that I should only do 2K franchise and career stuff. So uh, after the news stuff drops, I think that might be what I just go back and do. But I want to do it real good. I want it to be real dope. I don't want it to be just, oh, he turned on the game he playing. I don't want it to be like a stream. I want it to be more like elaborate, like I used to do back in the day. Um, but that takes time, and I just do it on my own pace. That's pretty much how I do it. So I appreciate y'all. God bless and peace.